So Zeta has posted the debate recording. Well, which you can at least try to call the debate recording, because it's only like half of the conversation after Trick shows up. But yeah, Zeta tries to like cut the debate up in bits and pieces to like skew the perspective and like, change up the narrative. He also had Trick actively helping him in the debate. All that will be shown in this full clip. I'm going to give like some text overlay to kind of like give some clarity as to what I'm trying to talk about and like what my point is and like why I think I won. And if you can't follow along with that, then that's on you. And as for Trick, I'll go over why he got kicked later on down the line in the video. But just for right now, he literally changed Zeta's argument to make it harder for me to attack. He literally took out the key assumption in his argument, right? And when I was calling it out, he literally stripped it out to make it easier for Zeta to to keep going on in the debate. Not only that, but he actively lied about things that I said multiple times in the debate to keep me handicapped and to push Zeta even further. So like, yes, at that certain point, I dropped him because he wasn't doing his job. A judge is supposed to be swayed towards one direction completely, right? And misrepresent everything that their opponent is saying while benefiting and then literally swapping out what their friend is saying to keep convenience for them. Like that's not how it works. Sure, you can like pick up from what you've seen in the video.
Okay. So I have some contentions. Well, first, said that no time and no space could just mean outside of time or basically like a higher dimension or something that is just outside of the 3D space-time manifold. But I actually think this is in direct opposition to no time and no space, because when you're extending the higher dimensions, you're literally giving yourself additional degrees of freedom across space, which is in direct opposition to being not having space and time.
Yeah, I already addressed this. Why does like denotative meaning like contradict or override the way that like the DC writers use the term? And how does that prove that that's how they use the term? Because you realize that like words can be used that like don't like linguistically follow like the denotative definition and still be applied connotatively, right?
Okay, what do you mean? Because when we're talking,
for example,
about
the word, right? The word ignorant is like not denotatively, like the word denotatively means someone that is like lacking knowledge, but connotatively it's used to refer to someone who's rude. Now again, those two things are not the same thing regarding like definition wise, but again, it still is used connotatively. So my question is, why don't like DC writers just follow along that figurative language?
Hold on, because the thing is that could be in some sort of framework of like semantic internalism, where one could treat a set of semantics to mean this and another set of semantics to mean this. Because technically, for you to oppose that, you would be appealing to some form of like that would like to say that ignorant like it just means rude is like, oh, it's distinct from dictionaries. I agree to that, but what we need to consider is that there is like more than one definition for these things. Like ignorant, yes, it also means like just being rude or being a lack of knowledge. Yeah, there's more than one definition for these things. But when we're talking about like language, especially when using the word no or less, which is indirect negation, it's just significantly less expected for there to be something that is actually just adding more to the merrier.
Yeah, you're just telling, okay, so you went on that whole jargon to tell me like essentially it should be treated in like in my case like it's the absolute meaning of the word, and you didn't give me anything like supplemental to help you why. Like to explain why.
I never. Whoa, okay, wait. That's a blunder because I didn't say absolute. I didn't say anything about absolute. I just said significantly less expected. So what I mean by expectations are just directly opposed to absolute.
Okay, so we'll just take that down, which is like a grasp at straw. It doesn't really change what I'm saying. We can just address like the fact that you're trying to like appeal to what's possible or probable here. That's fine. My point being with that, like you telling me it's in direct negation, it's just you making another claim that doesn't necessarily defeat or prove what you're trying to establish now. My point here is that again, that is fine, and you just agreed to multiple definitions being applicable and possible for a word, but you telling me that, oh yeah, this is just all of a sudden like not expected because it's in negation is another claim that I need substantiation for. Like, why does this now all of a sudden drop the probability framework because it's in negation? Like I've already expressed this. Like
because it would be an addition.
What? We just went at home. We just went over that. Like what? I'm trying to understand. Because again, how does being rude? How does being rude? How does being rude and lacking knowledge? Like how is it
asking the question? But my answer is in response to that. Like it would still respond to your question.
But it hasn't responded to my question. Is my problem. Okay, I'm not gonna do this. It hasn't. My point here is just that again, you have not established to me whether or not these two meanings
are genuinely in addition to one total concept. I need you to establish that. Also, you need to establish the idea that like no space and no time can't have multiple meanings. Yeah, that's what you're assuming. So if you're
That's not
assuming
what
that these things,
No, because like I said in my
if
video,
you're not
no,
assuming the
wait,
idea
hold on.
to have multiple meanings, then like you're already moving.
Earlier in the video, because I said in my original video, because I said that yeah, someone could interpret no time and no space to just refer to maybe some different or alternate flow of time that is distinct from the flow of time that we hold to. That's possible. Even in Sonic, like no time literally is just talking about the stoppage of time. It doesn't even talk about total atemporality.
Okay, so you're defeating your premise here. So if that's the case,
No, I just don't think you're understanding.
Zeta, hold on, pause. If you're saying that these pieces of fiction and in fiction in general, these artists can use like the fictional medium to describe and use these words as like contrary to what the denotative actual definition is, then you're just fitting like the parsimony of my argument more. Now you're telling me that it's in negation, right? And because it's in negation, that drops down my probability framework. I'm asking for substantiation for that claim, and now you're just telling me, oh, it's in addition. That's not helping. I'm just getting more claims from you. Like, can we propel ourselves forward in like the debate progressively? Because I need to understand what you're actually trying to get to.
You, but like I'm getting to my point because yes, I agree with you. Yeah, no time and no space can refer to that. That's okay. I mean, I agree with you. You're also invoking possibilities here. However,
I'm on the negative. That's my job. I'm on the negative. That's my job.
Okay, that's your job. Okay, that's fine. Okay, everyone has jobs. Okay, but anyways,
I'm just telling you what mine is.
What?
I'm just telling you what mine is.
Well, I don't have to tell you I work at Amazon.
But again,
I'm joking.
You would have to tell me your stance in the debate.
That's not an argument.
Oh, okay. But like I was saying before, like again, if you're just gonna like, can you like provide to me why your stance is just more abductive or more like more likely? I would love to see that.
Okay.
With less interpretations, like less assumptions.
Hold on. What I'm trying to say is, despite the additional, actually, hold on. Before we get there, yo, Raptic, would you be willing to substitute a judge as opposed to Trick? Because I don't know if he's gonna be showing up. I'm pretty sure Raptic is watching this.
I'm cool with that. I don't care.
Yeah, I'm gonna get a Raptic. Hold on. I'm gonna get a Raptic to be like a substitute judge. Oh, fuck! You want to drop my water. Yo, Raptic, peep Discord. Would you judge the debate and substitute for Trick? No, we're talking about like we're just talking about points we went over in the debate, like just in the debate. Oh yeah, I'll send the live in Noblesse. Hold on, yeah. Where the fuck is Raptic? He was just typing. Is he here? Hold on. Yo, Raptic, hurry up, bro. Yo, stupid cow, you rep pedophiles, nigga. Anyways, Leo, why are you trying to go up on the StreamYard? Oh my god, I'm going to fucking call him. Like, this is actually getting me a little bit mad that our Aptic is dragging it a little too long. But yeah, let's just hold on. But just to like get wait, our Hystor1c, are you still there? Oh, he's not here. Yeah, he's not here at all.
What happened?
Oh, never mind. Yeah, so while I wait for our Aptic again, so basically what I'm saying is that we should take like when we talk about like a word, right? Or like let's say I have a piece of paper. So like I don't really know how to express my ideas, so I'll just be as simple as possible. So for me, so let's say I have a piece of paper and this paper says that there is no grass or that there's no this, right? So basically what I'm trying to say is that when we have a word, right, or not a word, when we have a sentence or basically an idea that is expressed linguistically, we should appeal to what we should appeal like what the meaning like the meaning should be appealed
The
like
face value of the linguistics.
yeah.
Okay. So my question would then be, why do we take that over the contextual basis in the analysis of like over what's being presented? Because if you're trying to attribute these statements to to this medium, to this narrative, then like there would have to be some contextual backing as to why we should take this as like opposed to what the connotative meaning behind like the DC writers and like the intention of the pen is being, is curating. So if you can like let me know.
Hold on. If there's an intent from the writers that suggests otherwise, and there is like a contextual framework that does suggest otherwise, we would appeal to that instead if there's actually like any form of representation or instantiation for it.
Okay, so then that's what I did like in my video. That's what I did in my video. I just showed like the multiple instances of space and time being used in these places that is shown to have no space.
Araptic, join the stream. Araptic, join the stream. Is Zeta presupposing that the pre-creation void necessarily is outerversal because they existed before time and space? Well, that's like analytically outer, but sure, dude. But Araptic, no, dude. You okay? Hystor1c, are you letting him up? Is he here?
I didn't even see he joined. There he is.
Okay, yo, Araptic. All right, let's go. Okay, so anyways, let's just continue back to what I was saying.
Hey, what's up?
All right, Araptic, make sure to like track this. Yeah, just make sure to track this debate. All right, you got that, bro?
Who's we good?
Araptic. Fuck. Come on, nigga, talk.
Right, wait, there's this like thing and like I can't really.
What? What's good with you, bro?
The reaction time is fucked up. Like on my phone, I can't hear you guys, and like when I watch the stream, it's kind of like early.
No, don't watch it on YouTube. Just be on the StreamYard website.
Yeah, on StreamYard, I can't hear you guys. That's
Wait, why? And he is delayed. He's delayed like a mug. That response came in late.
What the fuck? I have the worst fucking judges of all time. What the fuck? I have the worst judges ever.
Did you join while you were on YouTube?
Well, I don't know what Araptic's doing. Yo, Araptic, you might have to get out of YouTube and just go.
But like I can bring you down and then bring you back up.
Genuinely, what the fuck, gang? Where is Trick? Holy shit! Where is Trick? Hold on, I might have to get Lemon to judge for me or help me out. Lemon.
Word. I just need to hear you guys on my phone. That's it, because I'm on StreamYard. Are you delayed? Like, if you're not delayed, like comment wise, if you can hear what we're saying currently and then respond in comments, you're good.
Zeta, I got $5 that says you win. Yo, W, shell it. $5. She's gonna give me $5.
You gotta address their name correctly. Their full name is Shallot Glazer, gang. But all of my responses on VC will be okay, cool. I'll just drop you instead, and like you can just like respond if you can still hear what we're saying. If that makes sense. You cool with that?
Okay. That's great. Okay. All right. So anyways, right. I don't think the scans you sent for Outer DC necessary. I don't think the scans you sent like against Outer DC like necessarily like deviated from being Outerversal. And look, I have some consistency to back up what I'm saying about what the narrative acknowledges, because for the Phantom Zone, for example, they literally state that it's distanceless and higher dimensions necessarily need distance.
Yeah, I already mentioned this in the video. So distanceless is like, it can literally just mean like lacking the relevance of distance, the sense of distance. That doesn't inherently mean that you transcend distance. Like,
Hold on. What do you mean by lacking the relevance of distance? Could you like
by
elaborate?
Moving so fast that you can make a certain distance negligible.
Bro, wait, historic. That, what do you mean? Like, we're not talking about speed. We're talking about the Phantom Zone.
I don't care. Like, I'm simply saying, like, again, distanceless has multiple terms and multiple.
Wait. You're so fast that distance becomes negligible.
I'm saying that's just one of the applications of the term. That's just like one of the ways you can.
What is negligible?
Not relevant, not mattering. Like, not mattering doesn't mean non-existent.
Wait. If distance is ultimately negligible, then it's reduced to nothing.
That's not necessarily the case. Something can be negligible and not be reduced to zero. You can reduce you can reduce something and still not have it drop all the way to zero. That's like that's not a good segue at all. Like, unless you can like inherently prove that like something being negligible or negligent means that like there's zero attention being given at all, I would love to see evidence of that.
Okay, hold on.
Can you index that?
Okay, wait, hold on. Well, if it's becoming by your framework, you're saying that the distance, that distanceless could just mean, the distance is negligible. Okay, well, not only are you just extending outside of the face value by saying, it just means it's negligible, and negligible also just means that, it's not really worth anything, or it's not really, it's kind of not
being
worth
face value doesn't grant any probability helping. Like, that doesn't grant you any probability frame. Like, that's not helping.
Wait, hold on. Because I would contend with this, because when we're comparing the face value, I'm only assuming based on what the linguistics is giving me. You're assuming what the linguistics is giving with the assumption of an additional, with an additional.
Zeta. Adding more assumptions doesn't inherently make an interpretation less shoddy. That's not the case. Go ahead.
Okay, so basically what I'm saying is that you're extending beyond the linguistical framework and adding the additional assumptions of that it's just talking about maybe that it's just negligible, like relative to somebody's views or somebody's like perception or knowledge or like their own preference. And then it's just like kind of negligible. It's just only to a certain parameter or degree. So that's just with additional assumptions, and parsimony favors the most simplest explanation with the least amount of assumptions, which is why under that probability framework, I would actually have a higher set of probability. And by the way, right, we could also add an additional theory as well, because if we appeal to what's expected, if it's actually distanceless, if that's actually the case, that it's actually distanceless, the linguistics, or basically the way the word is already said, is just ultimately more expected. Like, if it's saying, it's literally distanceless, or if it's saying that it's distanceless, right? If the intent is to express that it actually is distanceless, that's more expected. But if we go by your interpretation, there are literally many ways that could be expressed. It could be, distance is
falling apart.
Reduced to nothing, or distance is falling apart, or almost meaningless.
Okay, this doesn't make any sense, because in order for you to get to this, you'd have to be presupposing like the backing in which these words are being used in. Because now with this, you're saying like, something being like stated to be distanceless, like is more okay at face value, that's more valuable or more worthy than the context in which the word is being used in. And then you mentioned to me that like the word distanceless is used in factoring in, and it's more expected for your interpretation because like you said it's factoring more for your interpretation because of like it being the face value of the word, right? That's what you said?
Nope, that's not what I said. Okay, so that's
or it being more expected because it's at the face value. And
no,
like
that's not what I said.
that's
okay, something I did mention, but that's not.
So what'd you say?
But you're not directly like tackling.
So what'd you say? What'd you say?
Okay, well I'm gonna tell you.
So get to it. What's with the extra jargon? Just tell me what you said.
Okay, so so basically what I'm saying is that if the intention of expressing something distanceless.
There it is. That's where you stop. That's where you're presupposing right there. Right? You're presupposing the intention of the absolution being there. You're telling me that it's.
I'm not presupposing. I'm applying.
Wait, stop, Zeta, because you are. That's literally what the factoring of your interpretation is. You just said that your interpretation is literally in line with the idea of the intention of what the writers are putting down on the page.
I'm applying historic. I'm not presupposing, because presupposing is when I assume something to be true. I'm saying if we're applying a conditional, the conditional, right? The conditional is if they are expressing the idea that they are talking about something that is actually distanceless.
Why would that be factored
the way
in?
that it's being expressed, which is it's distanceless, is ultimately makes the intention ultimately more expected. But
why would that matter if you're not making that your interpretation?
Hold on. If we go by your intention of what they're saying, you would have to be that's ultimately less expected because there are many ways your intention could be expressed.
The conditional you're adding is literally onto the the conditional that you're adding is literally stemming from the idea of your interpretation going through. This conditional is literally being attached to your interpretation. You're saying that this conditional is present, so therefore it allows for your interpretation to be viewed at the face value and that being what's expected. That's literally what you're saying directly. So my problem is that's still a presupposition because you're assuming that your conditional has been proven and that your interpretation is at face value because of this conditional being proven. You have not justified that. So can you justify the intention of these DC writers to establish this absolutely distanceless space to where there is no absolute quarter of distance in any part of the zone?
Yeah, so I think this is just a blatant shadow box, and this keeps like hold on. I'm trying to explain because I think you're just going back to the same question that you're demanding over and over and over again. And then when I present what I have and I present my abductive account, then you're like, no, because you're presupposing. Like, I don't think this actually goes anywhere. And I think this just goes back.
Bro, you're just saying words at this point. You're just saying words. You're not refuting anything that I'm saying. Zeta, you're literally presupposing. I explained what you're presupposing. You just saying that all I'm saying is presupposing is a straw man.
Yeah, how does that follow?
Of what I'm saying. Again, I've already expressed it. You just said that the conditional that you laid, right, is separate from the presupposition that is like that I'm claiming that you're making. And I'm saying that's not the case at all. Your point, right, about your interpretation is stemming from that conditional. You said your interpretation is more likely because it can be seen at the face value because of that conditional being in play.
Okay, so this is another blunder. Like if it's saying, oh, it's literally distanceless, or if it's saying that it's distanceless, right? If the intent is to express that it actually is distanceless, that's more expected. But if we go by your interpretation, there are literally many ways that could be expressed. This is just another.
How is that a blunder? That's literally what you stated. All right, I'm gonna just can we get judgment? Because I'm not gonna keep going back and forth and like you're actively saying what you're saying and then saying I never said that. Like, nah, bro, come on. Can we get a
Okay,
judgment, please?
wait,
Like,
hold on.
Erratic. Has he not
Erratic,
said directly that like his in?
Can you give your
You
comment?
can put Trick up. Trick on the stage. So
Okay,
Trick,
yo, finally,
has he not
fuck.
said
Yo,
direct,
good Trick.
Trick, has he not said directly that if this intention is there, that it allows for his interpretation to be seen at the face value, and therefore like that meaning is more expected across like the actual perception, like for those perceiving the term. Is that not what he said? I would love to hear that. If that's not what he said, please let me know.
Historic. I think he just got here.
Okay, then we'll put a Raptor couple on the stage then, or somebody.
Wait,
anybody.
I want to wait. Hold on. Bring Trick back because Trick finally came back.
Okay,
Yo,
cool.
Trick.
Trick, we can't hear
King
you.
of Nobles, Dark Emperor, the ultimate debater of all fiction history. Please speak, and we will worship you. I'm kidding.
We can't hear you,
No,
Trick.
no, Jesus on top. Sorry, guys. That was a joke. Fuck, it didn't work. Come on, Dark Emperor Trick. Come on, command. Like, oh my God. Like, I command you, bro. What the fuck, man? Okay, hold on. I'm gonna like, wait. I'm gonna wait. Hold on. I think he's just adjusting.
Somebody said Trick is not reliable here.
Trick is not reliable here. Yo, unknown cloak, you get bitched by my boy Rewrite, your ass. You get bitched by Rewrite. Where is Trick? My Trick, what happened? No, Trick is on right now. I don't know what's going on with him.
Oh, Hyper's rewrite. Apparently, Hyper is rewrite.
Hyper's Rewrite? Hold on, let me check.
Someone said Zeta, you get sunned up by Drip and Bass.
So Zeta, you get some by Drip and Bass. Nigga, you're repping a pedophile. Like, what the fuck? Why are you repping pedophiles?
Why not Drip is judge?
Stop! Wait, why are people repping the pedophile? Yo, somebody watch the Drip Files, bro. The Drip Files literally exposing.
All right, Trick, you ready?
Trick! Look, Trick. If you don't speak, I'm gonna cry.
His mic just not working. What the hell?
Trick. Dude, come on.
Logical J is judge.
No, bro. Historic, can we please just do this in Noblesse?
Wait, Zeta doesn't like him in the store. Wait. Zeta doesn't like who, and I'm suspicious
Drip.
of who.
Drip sauce.
Oh, drip. Of course, yeah.
Trick. Dude, Historic, can we please just do this in the server? Because it's not working over here.
Hold on.
Like, this is not fair, gang. Like, this is not fair. Like, because we don't have a real judgment. Yeah, I wanted to bring this over to... Yeah, I sent Historic the link 2 times, and he didn't click shit. Yeah, go to discord.gg/noblesse. Yeah, it's in my bio. You can join up.
Wait, what? This becomes more fair? How? Again? Under what?
So we can get a judgment.
You can get a judgment here. Just tell bro to type. He can't type?
Well, everybody's like having delay right now.
Not a single soul has said that. So you just want to do this out of convenience.
Out of convenience?
I guess.
Is the stork not a Noblesse? No, he is not a Noblesse.
No. Zeta looking for any looking for any excuse to mention Noblesse.
Dude, Noblesse is the best debate server right now. I'm not even joking. And like, here's the thing: like, me and Trick own the server, and we don't like.
I don't care. It will be. I just don't feel like joining the server to join a debate that I'm about to just like be here for 2 minutes and dip again. Like, what's the point? We can do a GC or something like that. I'm cool with that, but like, or Trick can type, or a Raptor can type. I don't really care what we do. Like, it is what it is.
What is going up with Trick right now? Hold on, I'm gonna tag.
Mighty Gebra is judge. No way.
Trick, what are you doing?
Boo, Trick things. Y'all tripping.
Yeah, what is Trick doing, bro? He needs to lock in.
You were tricked.
You were tricked. Got IP banned in Noblesse? Yeah, because you rep a pedophile. Like, what is going on? It's me, Rewrite. I am Hyper. Let me upstage. We are not letting him up. Oh, Trick says he's trying to fix his mic.
All right, word.
How long will
Whoa, that's not what happened. That's not what happened.
W
right,
his word for kicking out Trick?
No, okay, it's working now. It's working. All right.
Jesus Christ. You good?
Yo, Trick. Okay, so you just got here, right? Do you like have any prior
I
knowledge?
have literally no context.
Okay. So basically, me and Historic, for context, we're talking about the Phantom Zone, and basically I went over how it's like described to be like timeless and spaceless, and Historic argues that within fiction, time and being being timeless and spaceless doesn't necessarily have to mean literal aspatial atemporality, and that the way authors express these words, it could just mean that maybe it's like a higher dimension, or maybe it's like a different flow of time, etc., etc.
Okay.
And basically I'm saying that, oh well, you know, if like given this conditional, hold on, because the thing is, there's some consistency to back up my interpretation, because it's literally stated to have no distance, and he argues. And he basically is arguing that, oh, well, no distance could just mean that maybe it's like basically or like almost nearly irrelevant, or that maybe it's relative to perception, it's not really meaningful. And basically I'm arguing, right, that if we were to take my conditional, if the authors are actually expressing something to be distanceless, right, it would be more expected to use the words of it being literally distanceless, of distanceless to actually be the case, as opposed to something that is just talking about maybe perspective, or only like general relativity.
Okay. And what's the historic response to that?
I'm saying that like with that stance of I think he's presupposing that like the writers are trying to push this idea of something being without distance truly and absolutely, right? So if he's making that like that distinction, and he's saying like the writers are using that, or like are trying to get that intention across, then that needs to be backed via some sort of evidence. You can't just say that and then say like, oh yeah, I'm gonna make that point, and then my base is off of that point. Like I need some substantiation for that. Because just saying that something is distanceless is not backing the interpretation that, oh yeah, they're making this intent to show something absolutely above all distance and all, like, you know, anything of the nature. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. From what I'm understanding, I think Zeta is trying to say that under the hypothesis that it's stated that there's no distance, it's more expected that there's just no distance completely. And I think he's trying to say that your interpretation is less probable, or like less expected.
Uh-huh.
Right? And he's saying that because we would just be more inclined to take the statement, like, I guess, at face value. Like, no distance means no distance. Like, any alternative interpretations would just be less expected.
Uh-huh.
Since it's not face value.
You're repeating his argument and then, like, trying to...
Yeah, right. I don't think you really responded to that, because all you really said was just that, oh, I need more evidence for your interpretation.
That's not what I said. That's not what I said. Now you're trying to straw man me. Okay, so Trick, what you did here is you just came up and then restated what he said in the
Wait, show. Yo, Zeta, show. Let me hear what his story has to say. Yo,
so did you not just, hold on, did he not just try to make the statement, right, and say outright that if they are making this intention to say that something is distanceless, right, first of all, that already goes past someone's like linguistic structure of the word. That's now on like the intention in the context and the framing in which the word is being used. That is being presupposed here. He is actively saying that the DC writers are presupposed or are already like essentially pushing the intention of this place being 100% and absolutely without distance. That requires evidence. He can't just say that and then make his point and his interpretation preemptively off that basis with no evidence. How am I not responding to what he's saying? What?
That's not what he said, though.
Now for this part, I'm going to go over why I did what I did to Trick, because Zeta's trying to frame it like I did it because Trick was just disagreeing with me and that was like my attempt to assert some kind of dominance over him. No, that's not the case at all. Trick literally changed Zeta's argument completely and removed the entirety of the hidden premise that I was attacking in the entire 25 minutes that was leading up to Trick even joining the VC in the first place. Now, if you think I'm lying, I'll go ahead and prove it to you. Look at Zeta explain the way his argument went.
Okay. So basically, me and Historic, for context, we're talking about the Phantom Zone, and basically I went over how it's like described to be like timeless and spaceless, and Historic argues that within fiction, time and being timeless and spaceless doesn't necessarily have to mean literal aspatial atemporality, and that the way authors express these words, it could just mean that maybe it's like a higher dimension, or maybe it's like a different flow of time, etc., etc. And basically I'm saying that, oh, well, you know, if like given this conditional, hold on, because the thing is, there's some consistency to back up my interpretation because it's literally stated to have no distance. And he argues, and he basically is arguing that, oh, well, no distance could just mean that maybe it's like basically or like almost nearly irrelevant, or that maybe it's relative to perception, it's not really meaningful. And basically I'm arguing, right, that if we were to take my conditional, if the authors are actually expressing something to be distanceless, right, it would be more expected to use the words of it being literally distanceless, of distanceless to actually be the case, as opposed to something that is just talking about maybe perspective or only like general relativity.
Look at me explaining the way Zeta's argument went.
So did you not just, hold on, did he not just try to make the statement, right, and say outright that if they are making this intention to say that something is distanceless, right, first of all, that already goes past someone's linguistic structure of the word. That's now on like the intention and the context and the framing in which the word is being used. That is being presupposed here. He is actively saying that the DC writers are presupposed or are already like essentially pushing the intention of this place being 100% and absolutely without distance. That requires evidence. He can't just say that and then make his point and his interpretation preemptively off that basis with no evidence. How am I not responding to what he's saying?
And then look at Trick.
No, he was just saying that since it's stated to be distanceless, it's just more expected that there's no distance.
Notice the fat ass conditional that's missing here in Trick's explanation of Zeta's point, where it's not the reliant factor, where everything is not reliant on this conditional, where it's just face value to expectation of probability. That's it. That's the segue that he says Zeta was making with his points. Completely skips over the conditional that he laid out though. And that's why I called him biased, because to skip over this entirely, you would have to be either misinformed or stupid. And even then, if we address this modern updated version of Zeta's argument, that's fine, because I still put every piece of this into question, which is exactly why Zeta made the conditional in the first place. Because without that conditional, he would have no justification as to why his interpretation would be more probable. And without that hidden premises assuming the work for Zeta, he would quite literally not have that conditional either. And that makes it another layer of circular because of that hidden premise. He assumes that DC writers use this term literally, and again, that is literally what I put into question in the first place. From the jump, I asked why this denotative / face value meaning is literally used or intended by DC writers. And now to back that, you're using a conditional that quite literally requires the assumption of DC writers' intention in order for it to go through. Do you not see how this entire position makes zero fucking sense? And that's why you look even more guilty when Trick changes this argument and you go along with it like you've been saying it the entire time. So he does that blatant switch of Zeta's argument. And do I say anything about it? Yes. But do I let him stay? Yes. That's already strike one. Strike two. He literally tries to lie about what I was saying when it came down to context factoring in for DC writers and their intention. Talking about, did I literally hear you say context? No, nigga, you didn't hear me say that shit at all. And the fact that you're asking that lets me know for a fact that you were trying to pick and choose and grasp at straws for anything to knock me down on. Not only that, but you had no issue singing Zeta's praises and talking about the points that he was correct on. However, when it came down to my points and what I was correct on, you were radio fucking silent, even though you were like, oh, I do agree with Historic on one thing, but you just proceeded not to say what it was, but you had everything to say about what Zeta was saying and how correct it was. It's insane. So this man is already down 3 strikes and I let him stay. Then he proceeds to literally try to make the debate easier for Zeta by trying to make it seem like I'm saying that he has to remember every single point from my video, which is not what I stated. The point here is that Zeta literally chimes in and is going in on the first point of my video. So if you're not even going to be able to address the first point of my vid, what is the purpose of predicating the debate off of the video? And keep in mind, I was the one that let him know that we're going to be predicating this off the videos, and Zeta agreed. And then Trick out of nowhere tries to tell me what I meant by the words that I said, which is strike 5. So yes, after that, I quite literally dropped him because he was doing the complete opposite of his job. It is not the judge's job to change arguments for the opponent. It's not the judge's job to literally sway the debate into one person's favor off of arbitrary rules and then lying about me enacting the guidelines of the debate. It's just, again, special treatment and bullshit disguised as clarity. So yes, the judge that was openly swayed towards one perspective and one person got kicked. The fuck are you finna do about it?
Like,
Wow. Okay. Like that he's biased. There's no way. Okay.
No, he's
verbatim.
not.
That's
He's
what he
not.
said.
Listen,
That is
listen.
verbatim what he said.
Yo, chill.
That is
chill,
verbatim what he said.
You're saying that he's presupposing the intention of the authors. That's not what he's doing. He's just
I'm
saying that.
applying a conditional.
Hold on. So Trick. So answer this question for me, yes or no. Did he not make this statement? If the DC writers have the intention of making something truly distanceless, right? We now have to take this at the face value because it's more expected. Is that not the argument he was making?
No, he was just saying that since it's stated to be distanceless, it's just more expected that there's no distance. He never.
Yeah.
Like, maybe
That's
I missed
literally
that
not
part.
what he. Firstly, that's
That
not what he
wasn't-
said.
Yo, chill, yo.
Secondly,
Look.
Secondly, if you're trying to argue
Hell,
Grice's
bro.
razor and that's what he means and not what he said, then like argue that because this is. Please
Well,
do that.
that is
'cause
what I'm.
that's not what he
That's
stated.
what I'm invoking.
Bro, chill.
Okay,
wait,
now
look,
if you're
look.
invoking the idea that because this is like the face value term of the word and that would be more expected, now we can get into why that needs to be
No,
like an inherent
bro,
rule
Bro,
that I
okay,
need to
look,
abide
I was
by.
literally not here the entire time. I don't know like literally everything he said verbatim. Like I'm just as uninformed about the debate as anybody would who did not listen. Because I didn't hear anything you guys said before I came here. So like
Okay. Well, I told you basically my argument to historic, but also I also added a parsimony point prior that if we take that distance list, like he's just adding more assumptions to distance list by not only extending outside the face value of what distance means, but also that it's just relative to like general perspective or just like relative to like subjective.
okay, wait, yeah, I get it. Yo, historic. Even if he didn't say that, or like what he's like, I guess repeating the parsimony point or whatever. Just respond to that now, so then we can go off
So
of
he's
that.
saying that his stance is more like it requires less or like less assumptions, right?
Yeah, because it's like face value. I guess that's like what it's
because it's fit. Okay.
Yeah.
Jesus. So, why do we have to take the face value of the word, right?
I got you.
Okay, hold on, pause. You haven't even heard the full question yet. Why should we take the absolute face value of the word as opposed to like the context in which the statement is being used in or the words are being used in, right? Why do we have to take that as superior over the context being established? Go ahead.
Okay, well, you're presupposing there's some sort of like superior context, like when you're saying.
I never said superior context. I never said that, and that's also not a presupposition either. I'm not presupposing
did he not say
superior
superior
context.
Yeah,
No.
he did say there's a context that goes over the.
Pause. I said a
superiority.
context, not superior context. There's a
Oh
context to
my
the statement.
God! You don't.
Why
have
should
to
we
say
take the
superior. You could
hold
be
on? Why should we take
implicit
the
about
face?
idea
Not wait.
being
Pause.
expressed.
No, talking over me is what's getting you caught up. My claim or my question was, why should we take the face value meaning of a word as opposed to the context that's behind it? Why should the face value meaning be
Even if
superior
I
to the
didn't, wait,
context
hold on.
behind
Even
it?
if I didn't have anything to say about that, you're literally implicitly implying some form of superiority.
No, I'm not. I'm simply saying that the evidence is present and it also equally challenges your interpretation. What are you talking about? How is that superior? I'm just simply saying that this word can also be used in a different way, and the context backs this word being used in a different way. That's it. How is that me
Why?
assuming? I'm not assuming anything there.
Back that.
Okay, so again, we'll establish that there are multiple statements, right, of the phantom zone and places that scale higher ontologically than the phantom zone being bound by the properties of spatial temporal axes. Do you want evidence for this, or do you want to just keep going?
Okay, well, I'll go over what you said because now this is likely going to necessarily require me to respond to this. So to go over the points that you made within your video. So the first point you mentioned was that there are geometrical objects and geometrical objects entail space, but there's an issue with this. The same scan that you showed quite literally also says that there is no time and space and that the beings that are in the phantom zone are literally immaterial. Like there's no time and space in the exact same scan. So if you're trying to say that, oh, it's geometrical objects literally and actually at face value invoking some spatial meaning, then you would just be pick and choosing then what is and isn't at face value, which is inconsistent about the views that you're like posing up here. And also,
are you talking about the scan that I showed in my video where like Wonder Woman is making the statement about it being like without space and without time?
No, so like the statement where it talks about there being geometrical objects, yes.
So then the Wonder Woman statement. Okay, so the Wonder Woman statement where she says like there's no space and no time. Where does she ever like mention that in context to like an ontological superiority towards all spatial temporal axes?
Okay, well, no, that's not what okay, so one, I don't think you engage with what I have to say because I think you should respond to that instead of giving me a new question. So what I said was
question response to what you're saying. I don't think things can be happening at once.
Okay, I think you've mistracked because I said that, well, if you're going to take geometrical objects to literally invoke something physical with spatial axes at face value, then you would just be picking and choosing what is and isn't face value because you want to be denying time and space being face value, but then accepting geometrical objects at face value because it could also be the case that it could just be something that is relative to perception or like something that someone conceives to like appear geometrical or maybe just like for visual continuity or something that is like expressed in a way like maybe for the author to represent to like be visually entertaining. That's also
why is that more likely than what I'm asserting?
Why is that more likely
than what I'm asserting?
Okay,
especially so you're on the here.
Okay. So, well, I'll hold on. I'm gonna go over why I don't need to answer that. All right, I don't need to answer that because what I'm saying is that what I'm basically saying, right? Because I don't directly have to tackle that, like because what I'm trying to say is that you can't just be picking and choosing what is at face value and what isn't at face value.
You're literally presupposing an argument that I made. I'm not doing that.
But you are doing that because if you're not.
When did I say we should just take geometric structures at face value? When did I say that?
Because I was going to give my argument.
I'm asking a question and I'm asking a question and you're making an argument off of a basis that you don't have any backing to. Like what?
Okay.
I'm asking you a question.
Because if you're not okay. Yo, Trig, moderate, bro. Please help me out.
How is this? I can't. How are you begging for moderation right now? And I'm asking a basic question.
Because you keep interrupting me and I'm trying to answer you.
Zeta, you're making a basis or a point off of a basis that's faulty. I never made this claim or even an implication that you're talking about. Where did I say the G?
No, okay, I'm saying,
where?
Where? Okay, again,
I'm asking you.
Okay, well, I'm trying to talk to you. Okay, if you are not picking and choosing, all right, what is and is not face value, then then you're having a very inconsistent argument. And then not only that, right?
No. Explain that. How? That you just made a claim. How is that inconsistent? Go ahead.
Because, hold on. Because if you weren't doing that, then it wouldn't necessarily follow or have any sort of probability that geometrical objects are invoking spatial axes.
Under what inference rule? Please tell me. Under what rule?
Okay, so P1, if geometrical objects are taken at face value, then there are spatial axes being imposed. Geometrical objects are being taken at face value, so therefore spatial axes is being imposed. And if that's just going to be a modus ponens. But if you deny this, then one, it doesn't necessarily follow, and also it doesn't have a probability rate.
Is rewriting the comments dick eating right now? Hold on, rewrite. Stay in the comments and keep being the spectator. I don't know why you want like the spotlight so bad, but just stay right there, please.
Okay, Trey, did you understand my argument? Like low key, there's like a lot of interrupting.
All right, say that again. What were you saying? Say it again.
Oh, okay,
bro. So P1, be a big boy. Come on, just you're a grown man.
P1. Okay, P1. If geometrical objects, the statement geometrical objects are taken at face value, then spatial axes is being imposed. P2, geometrical objects is being taken at face value, and conclusion is just going to follow that spatial axes is being imposed. So that's just going to be a modus ponens. And if you deny this, there's not going to be any form of probability raiser.
I didn't ask you to repeat yourself. I asked you to justify your position. Okay, so we're gonna just like move on past that. You didn't prove anything. You just justified. You just like restated your stance. I'll go ahead and like just express like what I'm saying. So my overall point. No. I asked you for like for evidence as to what you're claiming or like any type of reasoning as to why I should like. There's no probability raiser here. You just told me there wasn't a probability raiser because I'm not affirming I'm not affirming your syllogism, and I'm not doing that. I don't have to like abide by this idea.
Hold on. You don't need to affirm
Zeta. What I'm saying here, right, is that if I am not just appealing to the face value assumption, right? How do I now not have a probability raiser, especially when there are multiple statements that I am using and factoring in with my stance? I'm not just talking about the geometric shapes. I'm also talking about the distance that's also being measured when Zadu talks about there being actual corners of the phantom zone. There being corners in specific spaces and deviations in division in the phantom zone. Like that's what I'm asking for. So why should we take this and the geometric shapes, both of these things working in tandem? Why should we take?
Wait. So now you're just adding more to them what you initially said. Because we're talking.
No, I'm not. Watch my video. I've been saying this from the jump. What? Holy hell, track Zeta. What? No. I said this in my video.
Nigga, now you're just adding shit initially from the video.
No, I'm not.
Yourself with inside the debate.
Zeta, we're debating all my stance from the video. That was the first thing I told you when we started debating. Wait, Zeta, we're debating on what I said in my video. That's the first thing I told you about. We can just pick off from what I left off in my video. We can just pick up from there. I said that and you said, okay. What are we talking about?
I mean, so okay, look.
Yo, Trick.
Low-key, no, there was one point I do agree with Hystor1c, but like, just specifically this, like, I don't think it's fair to like, I don't know, expect him to like remember every single detail. So like, you should.
That's not my problem. I don't care.
No, you should. It's a little bit weird. You should
I don't care.
No. You can't
on my video and then proceed to he was gonna go along with the points I made in my video. What?
Like you can relay what you're trying to specifically argue within this conversation. Like I don't know why
you're trying to give me some. Wait, stop. No. You're trying to give me some arbitrary rule based on what's convenient for you and him. I don't care. You're not telling me what's necessary or why I have to do that.
Faith. That's bad faith.
Again, that's not bad faith if he's already been preemptively aware of the arguments I'm making. He's literally responding to the arguments that I made in the video, but now all of a sudden I can't hold him to the standard now?
From what I remember.
No, he only responded
okay, so
to
if I can't hold on. So now you want me to pick and choose when I can hold him to the standard of remembering my video. What? This is not fair. Now I can't ask him to respond to a point that he
No, of course you can. Just make sure you you can definitely make him respond to every point in your video. Just make sure to restate it right now so he knows what you're talking about.
I don't have to do that. I'm not obligated.
Okay, so then you're not making a point in the debate because the videos aren't the debate.
Pause. Again, that's your arbitrary metric that you're.
No, that's not arbitrary. The videos aren't part of the debate.
That is literally arbitrary.
The videos are not part of the debate.
You're trying to say, oh, it's because it happened outside of the debate. We can't factor it in, even though we literally put them all in the debate. What we put, trick, buddy. We put the points in the debate by the statement of us saying, oh yeah, let's continue on from where the videos left off. What are you talking about?
Yeah, you can.
That's
okay,
an
fine.
inclusive statement.
Off of what,
meaning the points from the original video in the debates will be factored into the debate.
Yo. Okay, look, there's like 30 different points you made in that video. Do you like
That's
actually
not my problem,
expect him
Why
to
does that
respond
change?
to everything?
Okay, historic.
What?
Historic. Do you want to conclude?
I'm not gonna lie, bro. Like this is just ratty.
Boy, I'm not doing that. If he's losing, he's losing. That's on you.
No, bro. That's actually like.
Teach your homie better. Now, with that said, can we get back to the actual stance?
Listen.
Can we get back to the actual stance?
2-hour-long video on Superman.
The video was 30 minutes. The video was 30 minutes at most.
I'm saying imagine. I never said you did, okay? I said imagine.
Why are you going slippery?
And then you agree to build off of that debate or like that video or whatever.
No, wait,
I can remember 2 hours worth of points.
Yelling over both of us is not going to get you anywhere, Zeta. Me and Trick are trying to have a conversation. Like, come on.
Well, like,
go ahead,
I'm just
Trick.
asking you if you want to conclude.
We can, but because at this point, it just seems like Trick wants me to baby you, and I'm not gonna do that. Like, no, gang.
No, it's not baby,
you made
bro. It's just like
you made the active knowledge to move forward in the debate off of the points that we made in the videos. If you don't agree with this, then that's just on you, and you're not trying to change up and want me to pick and choose.
I'm saying that, dude, look, I'm literally saying Zeta can respond to that point right now. I'm just saying, like, don't expect him to know every single fucking detail.
I can expect the person that jumped in and said they're gonna carry over from the video to carry over from the video.
Bro, it was just like
magnifying glass.
It doesn't remember every single detail, bro. It's just like, all right, instead of listen. It's
Chat, does this not sound like Trick is just wanting me to change the rules for Zeta's convenience? Is that not what it sounds like?
Yo, Trick, historic, everyone who's like dead ass saying that or basically that Trick is being biased, you guys are only saying that because it's Historic's chat. Like we
exactly. No, like
but hold on. But that factor don't happen for you in your chat, Zeta? What?
Historic, listen.
Yeah, we could just have a neutral GC because everyone's talking about, oh, Trick is being biased, but no one's actually hearing Trick because Trick is
They're
just
not even saying Trick is biased. They're just saying
Bro,
I'm
just
cooking.
listen.
No, they are
One
literally
person is
damn.
saying he's biased.
Yo, chill.
One person
Calm
is saying
down
Trick
and
is
let me
biased.
speak,
The
bro.
majority
I've
is
been
saying
trying
I'm
to say
winning.
this for like the last 5 minutes.
saying
Calm
that
down.
Trick is biased.
Yo, Zeta,
Wait,
chill.
who's saying that he's biased?
Are you fucking dumb? You just put a comment up.
Yeah, you're
Unknown, wait,
you literally
unknown
put up a
cloak.
comment of
Unknown
you
cloaked is
saying I'm
one
biased.
person. Unknown cloaked is one person, which is what I've been saying from the jump. So how am I slow for saying what I've been saying
Z
from jump?
Higgs also said that. Z Higgs also said that.
Wait, who?
Z Higgs.
Z Higgs. Where's that at?
Yo, okay,
He also said
bro,
that
just
Trick is
let me
biased.
say what I had to say.
He's
dude.
biased.
I don't know
Wait,
why we're just talking
at
over
what
me.
time? What's the time stamp? You ain't got the time stamp for when he said it? Okay. There he is. Eli Gotti. He said that. All right,
Yeah.
but like I said before, I'm not gonna just like you already made that agreement to move forward off of what the videos were saying. So if you already made that inclusive factor known and you've agreed to it, I'm not gonna just pick and choose now based on what's convenient to you, especially when you're
Historic,
already
okay,
making
can you,
already
listen
making
to what I have to
counterpoints.
say now after
Historic.
you
Assuming what I'm
time? Can you please listen? Yeah, what I was trying to say
Rick,
was
I'm
that
not about to hear
when you
that ad
say that you
nauseam,
try to
gang.
build
Why do
off
you
of the
repeat what I'm
videos,
saying?
you want to
Move on.
continue the debate from the videos. That's just saying, okay, let's stop the videos. Let's stop doing this video back
Now
and
you're
forth.
trying to
and let's have an
semantically
actual fucking
pick and
debate.
choose it. I'm not doing
No,
this
that's
with you,
not
Trick.
picking and choosing. That's just
That's
basic.
literally
fucking common
nitpicking what I'm saying. and
Yo,
trying to cherry
Historic, you're
pick my
not listening to
semantic
Trick. Can I go over what Trick said?
I'm hearing what Trick is saying, but Trick just wants me to change the rules for you. And now he's trying to arbitrarily and semantically change what I'm saying to make it seem like I'm saying something different from what I'm implying.
You
That's not the
shouldn't
case,
expect me
no.
to know every single thing in the video. Like,
But again,
shouldn't expect every single thing.
Hold on, pause. I'm not saying every single thing. That's another slippery slope you're just trying to jump to make it seem like I'm just making some. I'm asking you
No, you
some
literally did say
unnecessary
every
claim.
single thing.
I'm not.
You did say that.
No, I
You
did
did say
not.
that.
I never
Yes, you
said
did.
every single
That's
thing.
on recording.
Pause.
That's on recording.
Okay, so we can put that on recording and where I
On God, you
initially
said
asked
that.
Zeta
On my
to address
mama.
every single thing. So Trick, on your mother, I asked Zeta initially to address every
Yes,
single thing.
on
Please.
my mother.
Okay, so your mother's dead. There we go. So
No,
with
my
that
mother
being
is
said,
alive.
No,
yeah, she just probably croaked in the next room. So with that being said, right? She probably just croaked over in the next room because this man just lied like that. I never initially asked Zeta for that at all, so you can keep lying. My point was
listen,
that, again,
Historic.
that
Remember
was
when
the
I asked,
inclusive basis
shut up,
we continue off of.
Yo.
Calm down.
Like what?
Kid. listen.
Uh-huh.
Remember when I asked you, or when I told you, you shouldn't expect
Remember when
Zeta
you were
to
on
know
basis?
every single thing that you said in your
Historic, can
video,
you stop
and then you said
fucking
that's not my problem.
No,
You said, no,
calm
you
down. Your boyfriend's gonna
asserting
talk.
that
He's
he
gonna
should
talk.
know every single thing you said in the video for this debate.
Are you done?
Yes, I am done. Respond.
Okay, now when does that me initially making the claim that Zeta has to respond to everything? Go ahead.
Because that's
Not initial. Because that's not
literally
initial.
what's
That's
implied.
not initial. That was not the first thing I said in this debate. And secondly, and
I
most
never said that was the
importantly,
first thing you said in the debate.
what does initial mean, Trick? Are you slow? Oh my
Initial-
god.
Bro, I literally just came initially.
Get him off the stage. Get him off the stage, bro. I'm not doing this with y'all.
Bro, yo,
Like I
get my
said,
guts back,
bro. Get him off the stage, bro. Get him off the stage. Get him off the stage. We can find a new judge because I'm not about to have your boyfriend just try to chime in and make it easier for you.
Bro, his point was right though.
But it wasn't though. I never said you had
But
to
it
include
was.
every single thing initially. I never said that. And more importantly, the main crux of one of my main arguments is not every single thing. So with that being said, this slippery slope is just something that he's trying to reach to make it easier for your convenience. That's not what I'm allowing.
My convenience. I'm
So
just.
Zeta, can you go ahead and stop letting your boyfriends chime in to help you?
Well, he's not trying to help me. Literally, he's
Literally trying to help you. He tried to semantically change what I was saying to make it fit his narrative twice. Then he tried to arbitrarily apply a meaning to my definition 3 times. What are we talking about? He has been trying to help you.
No, he's not. No, he's not.
All right, gang. Like
Yo,
I said,
can we get?
But yeah, I hope y'all seen it from my perspective. Y'all can understand why I feel the way I feel. And again, why I know for a fact that Zeta just lost this debate. As far as me and Zeta friends wise, I thought we were cool, but he seems to favor, his own ego as opposed to keeping something neutral and normal. So I just thought, why waste time with somebody like that? So I'm gonna just go ahead and go my own direction and probably keep that whole, audience and conglomerate at arm's length, because I don't really need that shit right now. I don't need to be dealing with, some fucking child yapping about the Noblesian Empire in my ear, and I'm fucking worrying about real life shit. So yeah, videos getting back on schedule real soon. I just had to kind of I was gonna make a fucking a video about tech, but this nigga had to chime in and interrupt that whole schedule. So yeah, but it's being boy. Be good people, and I'm out. Peace.
Hard enough for you. You think this is funny? You think this is funny? It's not as funny
as your face. You know, it might sound weird, but I kind of liked the old arm better. Oh well, I'll just have to break it in.
Why won't you die?
Prince, has this ever worked? Don't need to answer that. Some advice, Prince, for the future. Next time, why don't you remember your place like the rest of them? And wait for Goku. KO! I win. Perfect.